नमस्कार। आज योग गुरु सीरीज में हम स्वागत करते हैं ओमकार भैया का। ओमकार भैया, आपका बहुत बहुत स्वागत है।
नमस्ते। नमस्ते।
थैंक यू। ओमकार भैया, पहले आप थोड़ा सा हम इंट्रोडक्शन दे दें आपको। भैया 17 सालों से योग के फील्ड में है। साथ ही साथ इनकी जो एजुकेशन होती है, 12th के बाद जो प्रोफेशनल एजुकेशन, वो योग में ही हुई है। और योग में भी फर्स्ट बैच में ये एस व्यासा के बैच के स्टूडेंट रहे हैं। तो इनका एक बहुत अच्छा सौभाग्य है, हम कह सकते हैं कि गुरु जी के साथ, नागरत्ना दीदी के साथ, मोहन जी के साथ बहुत अच्छे से कोऑर्डिनेट करके उन्होंने सीखा है। और अभी भैया कॉर्पोरेट योगा और साथ ही साथ थेरेपेटिक मेथड्स में ग्लोबली वर्क कर रहे हैं, ऑनलाइन ऑफलाइन सेंटर्स में। साथ ही साथ बहुत सारे कॉर्पोरेट ग्रुप्स के इन हाउस योगा कंसल्टेंट हैं, बहुत सारी आईटी कंपनीज के। साथ ही साथ बहुत सारी योगा रिट्रीट्स इन्होंने कंडक्ट करते रहते हैं। योगा टीचर ट्रेनिंग के कोर्सेज हैं कि गेस्ट फैकल्टीज के रूप में, उनकी फैकल्टीज के रूप में भी बहुत सारी चीजें कंडक्ट करते हैं। तो योग के फील्ड में एक होलसम पैकेज हमारे पास है। तो थैंक यू सो मच फॉर कनेक्टिंग टू अस। बड़ा अच्छा लग रहा है। तो जैसे हमारी सीरीज में क्वेश्चन होता है कि आपको कैसे पता चला कि हाँ, मेरे को योगा में जाना है। हाउ यू स्टार्ट योर जर्नी इन योगा एक्चुअली?
So, from childhood, yoga was an integral part of my household.
ओके।
My mother, my father, though they were having their own work, like my mother was a government servant and my father was working in a private company, but they were volunteering for the Vivekananda Kendra Kanyakumari.
ओके, ग्रेट।
And my mother has done her teacher's training in 93 from Vivekananda Kendra Kanyakumari, that time under Dr. Nagaratna. And she was one of the volunteers where I grew up, a place called as Sholapur
ओ।
in Maharashtra. And she was trained, what we call now, yoga for pregnancy teachers training. So then it was called as a master for yoga. And she was one of the main teacher there. Because of that influence, we were connected with the Kendra and thought process of it. And Vivekananda Kendra introduced obviously the yoga factor, and that helped me to attend many yoga camps in a Kendra.
हाँ।
Uh, Pranayama, or what we call now MSRT, then it was called as a Mananada Anusandhan, so
जी
those cyclic meditation,
जी
Avartan.
जी जी।
And so as a child, I was introduced for it. So when I was doing my PU, like 12th standard, Dr. Nagaratna was visiting Solapur. There was a celebration of the Matrika Yoga uh, program in Solapur. And that time she suggested my parents that why don't he join for the bachelor's of the yoga. And
जी
that was just a motivating factor.
जी।
Where it comes from Dr. Nagaratna. So, when she guides it, really, there is some divine intervention.
Lovely, great. You are so lucky actually. That's so good.
And that's how the process started. And I joined in the Shanti. And I was fortunate to get the first batch. And I got, a lot of knowledge and a lot of understanding of yoga under the direct guidance of Mohanji, Professor Mrs. Swam, and Raghuramji, and many teachers, and it totally helped me to grow as a person. So that's
जी।
my background, how
Great,
it
great.
started.
Wow, wow. Feel so blessed actually. So that's so good. So good. Perfect. So आपका इतना सारी ब्लेस्ड जर्नी रही, आपकी स्टार्टिंग बहुत अच्छी रही, फिर भी कुछ तो चैलेंजेस आए होंगे भैया योगा की जर्नी जब आपने एज ए प्रोफेशनल स्टार्ट करी। क्योंकि उन दौरान विवेकानंद केंद्र का इन्फ्लुएंस तो था, लेकिन इतनी ज्यादा योगा की पब्लिसिटी नहीं थी एज ए प्रोफेशनल जर्नी। क्या क्या चैलेंजेस आपने फील किए? बिकॉज चैलेंज गिव मोटिवेशन टू आर एक्चुअली स्ट्रगलिंग स्टूडेंट्स, योगा स्टूडेंट्स को भी रियल पता चले कि हर स्टार्टिंग जर्नी में चैलेंजेस आती हैं, और वो चैलेंजेस कैसे अपॉर्चुनिटी में बदलते हैं, वो हम आपसे जानना चाहेंगे।
So when we study under such a wonderful guidance, there was always a wonderful opportunity to grow as a person. The first challenges which I experienced during the study are to resolve my own internal conflict during the study,
जी
my own likes, my own dislikes, how I can maintain my calmness. So I was a very young boy then, and it was very difficult then, that conflict used to happen between what I like and what philosophy says, and that stay in a prashanti helped me to grow. But when I tell you about the profession, so I shifted from campus to Bangalore City in 2008, and I was fortunate to join Apollo Sagar Apollo Hospital groups, what we call Apollo now,
जी.
and I had a yoga department, and I was the therapist there, and it was the first major breakthrough for me to understand the professional approach. The simplest thing like creating yoga modules for a particular disorder.
Exactly, exactly,
You know what are the techniques good for you. But at that moment, for that person, how can you customize that module? How can you make it easy for that person to practice and then gradually develop his strength? Be it
exactly.
maybe few asanas, be it maybe few sukshma vayama, be it maybe few relaxation techniques. So that customization I started learning when I joined this professional setup.
जी, जी.
Simple things like drawing stick diagrams of the asanas.
Oh,
You know,
yes, yes. I've seen these kind of diagrams. They are so
it
actually.
will help person to understand the asana.
Uh,
And gradually the challenges like in those time, uh, fortunately in current government of Modi ji from 2014 and under the guidance of Dr. Nagendra ji, it is that yoga day and the yoga celebration is such a globally celebrated that it has helped us, but in those times there was always conflict. People used to think yoga as a last resort.
exactly,
कुछ
exactly,
हेल्थ इशू हुआ है तो ठीक है, सहारा होने के बाद चलो कुछ नहीं तो कुछ प्राणायाम कर लो. But now the thing is this, that what I see, that challenge has been changed, that now people have put yoga as an integral daily routine part.
जी, जी.
What I'm talking word yoga here is a pranayama asana. Sure. But not only that, now many people are post COVID, this difference I have seen. They are learning various other aspects of the yoga, like Bhagavad Gita. They want to know what is true happiness. They want to know actual mechanism of meditation. So that challenge which we faced at that time, over the time it has shifted to a bigger opportunity. And simple things like now we are connecting online.
जी,
So that was not concept then.
जी, जी, जी.
Correct. So if you had to take a class in person only, but now the accessibility of the internet has helped us to enhance our canvas, that we are able to connect and communicate with various teachers, students, and be it maybe India, be it maybe Singapore, be it maybe Australia, or be it maybe USA, everywhere
Exactly,
we are able to connect. So that was the challenge, that time restriction, inability to make a professional approach, and inability to enhance the larger frame of audience. That
exactly.
has gradually changed to the larger opportunity, that time we can save with the internet.
जी,
Professional modules making has started now very extensively. Like when I work in a corporate sector, previously if you give them just couple of pranayama with some sukhanas, it was okay. But nowadays we don't do that. We create a customized module for that session. In
exactly,
that we plan these many breathing practices. In that also sitting, standing, or if places they're lying on the back. If nothing is there, then chair yoga module.
exactly.
Correct. So that has started now, that I can see that things which are changed from the challenges to the opportunity.
Opportunities, exactly. Right, so
And
good, no?
I'm sorry,
No,
the
no, please,
last,
please, please.
even in the students, I see that students have become very curious. They have a lot of resources to explore from. See, you have now Google Reads, you have a Kindle, you have many such book things that those who are interested, they don't have to wait for particular publication to publish book and then read.
जी,
Things are available on your fingertips.
जी, जी,
That
जी.
knowledge accessibility is also quite big. So that challenge which was there, that only Yoga Sutra's one particular translation is available, you read through that only. Now you have n number of publications who are having, and you are able to discuss it.
Exactly. More
Whether
discussion, हाँ, more better actually, in a
so more
better way.
journey is happening, more. They say Amrita is coming back.
Exactly. Because more discussion have there, and they have all the details in their fingertips ना, so everyone access, so it's so good actually. बिल्कुल आपने सही कहा कि challenges अपॉर्चुनिटी के रूप में, और कितने सारे चेंजेस आ गए हैं इस शुरुआत के, तो ये हम भी सीख रहे हैं। हम लोग भी वी आर इन लर्निंग थ्रू, कि हम सीख रहे हैं चीजों को और बड़ा अच्छा भी लग रहा है। तो इसीलिए हम जैसे अभी हम भी लर्निंग के प्रोसेस में हैं, तो अब हम आपसे चाहते हैं कि जो नए योगा टीचर्स आ रहे हैं, या जो योगा लवर्स है, योगा एंथुजियास्ट है, जो योगा की जर्नी में आगे जाना चाहते हैं, तो हाउ यू कैन, व्हाट यू कैन एडवाइस टू देम, कि हाउ दे कैन स्टार्ट देयर जर्नी, द योगा जर्नी एज ए प्रोफेशनल, और एज ए योगा लवर, और एज ए योगा फॉलोवर, आप क्या उनको सजेस्ट करते हैं, तो प्लीज।
Those who are beginners, I will
हम्म।
always tell them that make sure that you are learning. It's just not to earn money.
हम्म।
Earning money is a part of the process, which
जी।
is essential. We are not denying it. But make sure that the field of yoga is there to enhance the quality of your life.
हम्म।
So use the tools which are given to you by our great sages. Even खुद भगवान कृष्ण ने जो कहा भगवद गीता और योग सूत्र, नारद भक्ति सूत्र, use those concepts to improve your health, physically, mentally, emotionally, to make it better and better. For that, I will tell the beginners, Swadhyaya is necessary, your practice. Daily spending time on your mat is mandatory.
जी।
And spending time is not just doing Makarasana or Shavasana. Plan the practice. Write down your practice before you start.
जी। जी।
What
जी।
you are
जी।
going to practice to. And make sure that you follow. Similarly, you daily read a little bit about the concepts of yoga. Very simple, simple books are there. You don't have to go for complication. Simple books like Promotion of Positive Health, Stress Management,
जी।
Physical. There are many other publications which have wonderful. So I will always suggest that read those books, think about the concept, what we call as Shravana Manana. So make sure that you think about it. Take your, you don't have nothing is to rush. Daily think about it, and then if possible write down about it, some 1 page, 1.5 page. So that helps you to understand the basic concept. Otherwise, you will get stuck only as a person who is good teaching in asana,
हम्म।
which is good and should. But like a great teacher like B.K. Sangar also was expert in the Patanjali Yoga Sutra. His publication on the Patanjali Yoga Sutra is such amazing.
लिटरली।
Don't confine yourself with only physical practices. Make sure that there is theoretical understanding behind it, which you explore more.
हम्म।
And for this, one last thing I will tell you, which my guide of MSc was fortunate to know, Professor Emily Swami, who used to tell me, go to the main source of any concept, where it originally comes from. Find out what was the circumstance from which that any concept has got, come up in this world,
जी।
and then try to learn from it rather than reading some commentary only. You go to the origin of the concept,
जी। जी।
find out the original source. So that's why that will help us to implement those concepts in our teaching more.
एग्जैक्टली, द रियल एसेंस इज सो इम्पोर्टेंट ना, उसमें जो एसेंस होगा उसमें कहीं ना कहीं उनके विचार भी होंगे, और रियल एसेंस में आपकी वो ओरिजिनलिटी निकल के आएगी। बिल्कुल, यू आर सेइंग एब्सोल्युटली गुड, वेरी गुड। सीरियसली इट्स सो गुड, बिकॉज और स्वाध्याय इज सो इम्पोर्टेंट, स्वाध्याय एंड द सेल्फ प्रैक्टिस, बिकॉज आपको थ्योरी और प्रैक्टिकल प्रैक्टिकल दोनों में एक बैलेंस बना के चलना पड़ेगा, और योगा प्रैक्टिस शवासन और मकरासन नहीं, और भी प्रैक्टिस करनी पड़ेगी।
Even practice करनी जो
जी।
सबसे we always say that which practice you should do, कौन सा आसन करना चाहिए, जो आपको अच्छे नहीं लगते वही करना चाहिए,
अच्छा। जो आपको अच्छे नहीं लगे वही आसन कीजिए आप।
वही कर, ताकि
ओके।
उससे जो मेंटल ब्लॉक है
जी।
वो चला जाए। जब
ओके।
मेंटल
ओके।
ब्लॉक चला जाएगा, वो फियर चला जाएगा,
हाँ।
फियर चला जाएगा तो फ्रीनेस आ जाएगा.
हाँ, एग्जैक्टली, इट डजंट लाइक बाय यू, दैट्स सो गुड।
Don't stay in your comfort zone in the asana practice.
हाँ, yeah, absolutely correct. हाँ, outside of the comfort zone, there's a treasure. So you have to find out. हाँ, because yeah, that's so good. Perfect. Because बिल्कुल आपने बिल्कुल सही कहा. थोड़ा सा आप अगर थोड़ा लाउड भी बोले, कई बार वो आपकी वॉइस ऐसे हो रही है ना. हाँ. और
यही
अब
जनरल
जैसे
प्रॉब्लम है, मैं बहुत धीरे बोलता हूँ.
हाँ, अब वो थोड़ा-सा नहीं, दैट्स सो गुड. योगा गिव्स अस सो काम एंड योर वॉइस शो इट so beautifully. So sometimes actually device
I
cannot
will,
recognize the.
I'll do,
Okay,
I'll do.
perfect. So how you feel blessed? If you can share any good or any मतलब any kind of incident or event कि how you feel blessed to being as a professional in the yoga field. अगर आप ऐसा कुछ इंसिडेंट या कोई चीज आप शेयर करना चाहें कि हाँ हम कैसे ब्लेस्ड हैं योगा प्रोफेशनल के रूप में.
Um, I'll give one example, very recent one during Corona time.
जी.
Many people who were suffering because of the definitely because of the corona. Second thing, many people were very much anxious because kya hoga? There was
हाँ.
so much of uncertainty
हम्म.
and there was so much of insecurity in the mind of the people.
जी. जी.
And that's the time we were fortunate to touch people's life with the yoga.
जी. जी.
Correct. And I got such a wonderful feedback, be it within India or even my US, a couple of companies which I consult there. So that's what they gave the feedback that, we were in such an insecure life. But in that field, because you are yoga teaching, the way you teach and the way you have taught, designed the modules for us, we felt so calm, we felt so peaceful, and we could accept the changes which were happening around easily.
जी. जी.
And that was one of the best feedback, and I felt really blessed. That
एग्जैक्टली.
it's that your therapy treatment is helping one person is one aspect, but on the larger scale, when there is such a world pandemic, we were able to help people with the yoga, and there were so many stories. You also have seen on the news and all
जी.
people, those who are pranayama practitioners, those who are breathing practitioners, meditation practitioners, were recovering fast,
जी.
recovering well. So that blessing, I feel that that we are able to improve our own health. When I say health, not only physically but mentally, emotionally,
जी.
socially,
जी.
and also we are able to touch the other people.
जी.
That was the one thing which I feel blessed. And one
एब्सोल्युटली.
another aspect which I genuinely feel blessed is that we are in this country, India or Bharat, where we are fortunate, and it's a divine blessing that here, we being in the India, we are able to see these places like be it maybe Haridwar or Rishikesh or any other such spiritual places where the yoga teachers and the masters and their knowledge is concealed, and you learn so much there. So that blessed feeling that I am from India and I have
जी.
done so much well here,
जी.
blessed with so many opportunities to reach these places.
जी.
Like
जी.
I had for many times, as I told, I conduct retreats in Rishikesh. Like couple last 2 years I've been conducting. So I've been couple of times to Shivanand Ashram
जी.
and
जी.
or even the Anand Saraswati Ashram.
ध्यान
Such a
से.
wonderful feeling. So that blessing, that larger scale blessing. So being a yoga teacher, I can connect to that energy. I can
जी.
connect to that energy.
यस, एब्सोल्युटली करेक्ट. बड़ा अच्छा लगता है कि हाँ, कि बहुत सारी चीजें तो हमको बचपन से रूट्स में ही है. दीज आर मतलब बिल्कुल द डेली रिचुअल्स आर देयर. इवन दीज आर द कंपल्सरी रिचुअल. हमको बाद में धीरे धीरे रियलाइज हुआ कि नहीं, दीज आर नॉट द रूल्स ऑफ हाउस, दीज आर रूल्स ऑफ आवर लिविंग द
There's a
लाइफ एक्चुअली.
science behind it. There is a
जी.
deep, strong emotion behind those rituals,
जी.
and
जी.
that does help us to grow a lot.
जी. 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 हाँ, हम यही सोचते थे कि ये तो हमारे रूल्स हैं. नहीं, रूल्स नहीं है, ये तो हमारी जीवन जीने का तरीका था जो हमारे मदर फादर ने बिल्कुल इंडल्ज कर दिया उसको. सो वी फील ब्लेस्ड टू बीइंग एन. हाँ, कि हम भारत में हैं तो बड़ा अच्छा लगता है. तो यही यही मैं आपसे भी पूछना चाह रही थी कि जो अभी जो नई जनरेशन आ रही है, आप उनको क्या सजेशन देंगे कि वो किस तरीके से अपने आप को अपडेटेड अपग्रेडेड साथ ही साथ योगा की वे में बैलेंस रख पाए एज ए योगा प्रोफेशनल भी और एज ए अगर योगा प्रैक्टिशनर भी. टेक्नोलॉजीज आ रही हैं लेकिन कहीं ना कहीं उनको रूट्स को भी पकड़ के रखना है. तो कैसे क्या चेंजेस को एक्सेप्ट करें और कैसे अपनी बॉडी में इंडल्ज करें और उसको बैलेंस को भी बनाकर रखें. तो प्लीज आप इस बारे में बता पाए।
One thing I will highly recommend is that the daily self practice. First
हम्म।
thing कि कल के दिन में कब प्रैक्टिस करनी है मुझे आज पता होना।
जी
ऐसे नहीं कि कल का कल देखूंगा प्रैक्टिस कर रही I should be ready for tomorrow's practice too. First thing is that from beginning, if you have this attitude, your practice becomes consistent. So when
जी
I say practice, it is not only doing some asana, but also including breathing practice, pranayama, surya namaskar, relaxation. Apart from that, a yoga practitioner I always feel must practice any form of a meditation daily
जी जी
because the meditation is going to recharge you.
जी
The kind of patients you deal with, clients you deal with, counselings you take, you need to rewind yourself. So you need to have a meditation. Third thing, as a yoga teacher, never feel ashamed to use the Sanskrit terminology.
हाँ एग्जैक्टली बिल्कुल
It's
एब्सोल्युटली।
okay for the people to know you tell them English names, but stick to your Sanskrit terminology.
हम्म।
Because, like recently, there was this article published that instead of calling yoga nidra, some of the Western psychotherapists they are using the term progressive guided relaxation technique. Why should we compromise that?
एग्जैक्टली।
हमारा है ना,
जी
तो हमारा है तो हम उसको प्राउडली नहीं करेंगे तो दूसरों के हिस्से क्यों करें?
जी जी
Instead of
बिल्कुल।
calling nadi शुद्ध, they call it rhythmic coherent breathing pattern, breathing practice. अरे नाड़ी शुद्ध इतना सुंदर नाम है हमें
जी
वो। So make sure that you use as a teacher Sanskrit terminology. थोड़ा whether you say नाड़ी शोधना और नाड़ी शुद्धि that is okay, that is वो जगह जगह का pronunciation के
हाँ
issue है.
हाँ
But make sure that you practice the Sanskrit names. Also, one more thing is which I tell you for a person, as a teacher, use mantras in your classes.
जी
Mantras, shlokas, इनको use करो. Then doesn't become a physical thing.
जी
It has a spiritual connect. So जैसे सर्वे भवन्तु हो या सहना हो या फिर योगेन चित्तस्य जो भी मंत्र प्राणस्य दंडस्य इनको डेफिनेटली क्लास में इंक्लूड करो. ओम हो doesn't matter. It helps a lot. उसके अपने खुद एक बेनिफिट्स है जिससे मन शांत होता है. जो आपका क्लास है उसका एक टोन बन जाता है. तो मेक श्योर दैट एज अ टीचर यू आर यूजिंग मंत्र. डोंट
जी
फील ashamed. Pronunciation can be always in. सर जो भी आपका गलत है वो धीरे धीरे प्रैक्टिस करके आ.
जी। और आप देखेंगे आप थकेंगे भी नहीं, जिससे हमने भी ये ऑब्जर्व किया जब आप संस्कृत के वर्ड, संस्कृत के जैसे आप ना आसनों के नाम लेते हैं, तो आपकी एनर्जी और ज्यादा अच्छे से आप डिलीवर कर पाते हैं। अपना वॉइस कल्चर जैसे वॉइस मॉड्यूलेशन वो बड़ा अच्छा आता है, तो वो डायरेक्ट आपके।
ऑथेंटिसिटी आ जाए.
जी जी
ऑथेंटिसिटी.
जी ऑथेंटिसिटी भी, और वो बिल्कुल स्टूडेंट के बिल्कुल वो जैसे होता है ना कि वो बिल्कुल तीर निशाने पर जाता है, जहां उसको
देखो
चाहिए होता है,
फिर
तो बिल्कुल हाँ।
जिनका इससे कोई कनेक्शन नहीं है उसको अलग अपने नाम से देके वही सिखा है. ऐसे क्यों होना है?
जी जी जी
नहीं होना है. इसलिए मैं एज ए टीचर मेक श्योर दैट यू आर यूजिंग संस्कृत.
हाँ ये आपने बहुत बिल्कुल।
Which I will tell you is that don't feel ashamed to have a professional approach. Don't
हाँ
feel ashamed. Okay? There is nothing wrong if you are using the field yoga teaching for your charitarth. There is nothing wrong. But we are not being selfish. We are not
हम्म
being. But make sure that there is always value given for your teaching when you have a good standard of a value being told. जब आप उसकी जैसे कोई स्टारबक में जाते हैं तो 700 रुपीज देके कॉफी पीता है. आपको कॉफी रास्ते पे भी मिलेगी 10 रुपए पर. सो डोंट फील अशेम. इट्स नॉट लाइक यू आर बीइंग ग्रीडी.
एग्जैक्टली।
सबसे बड़ा कॉन्फ्लिक्ट होता है कि
जी
नहीं जिसकी जो वैल्यू है उसकी वो देने की आदत पहले से ही होनी
हाँ ये आपने बहुत इम्पोर्टेंट बात की, क्योंकि
चाहिए.
कई योगा टीचर्स बड़े कंफ्यूज रहते हैं, कई बार वो पैसे मांग नहीं पाते हैं या फिर वो अपनी वैल्यू को नहीं कर पाते, तो ये बहुत इम्पोर्टेंट है हर योगा टीचर के लिए, वो सुने ये जरूर
It's
कि।
not being greedy.
जी
It's not being greedy. It's just that valuing yourself and valuing teaching of the master. So मेरा personal opinion है to make sure that you are very professional in certain. Obviously, you teach in that dedication.
Exactly. Yes, that is more important. वो
ऐसे
तो है.
तुमको बस पैसा कमाना and spend some time little bit to help others, grow others,
Hmm.
other teachers grow others. Make sure that those who are in the need, without any expectation, you make sure that you're helping. It can be creating yoga model. It can be giving them class reference. We don't need to have an animosity between teachers.
Exactly.
We don't have to have those ego clashes.
जी.
Yoga teachers.
हाँ, we
So
can
there
make a better yoga community. Good, helpful, and positive, and smiling. Yes, that is so important. बड़ा अच्छा लग रहा है ओमकार भैया आपसे बात करके, लेकिन अभी हम पॉडकास्ट के एंड पर आ गए हैं, तो अभी इसमें कंक्लूजन में आप कुछ योगा टीचर से, व्यूवर से, योगा जो स्टूडेंट्स आ रहे हैं, जो नई जर्नी है, इसको कंक्लूजन में आप कुछ अगर कुछ गोल्डन नगेट्स देना चाहें तो प्लीज आप शेयर कीजिए.
मैं कहूँगा कि if you are coming in the field of yoga, definitely it is purely because there is some divine blessing. So make sure that you make the best use of it by using the knowledge of the yoga to become a better person.
जी.
That's what.
Lovely.
अपनी जर्नी पे better person बने, अपने आप सब प्रोग्रेस हो.
जी, exactly. Enjoy the process and yes, that's so good. Perfect. Thank you so much. बड़ा अच्छा लगा, बड़ा blissful, peaceful और बहुत ही अच्छा काम सबसे. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much. बहुत अच्छा लगा. Wish you all the best. We'll be in touch with.
श्योर. आप बाकी व्यूवर से भी रिक्वेस्ट है, आपके कोई भी क्वेश्चन है इससे रिलेटेड, तो आप भैया का मैं भी साथ में सोशल मीडिया का लिंक यूट्यूब चैनल में दे दूंगी, आप उन पर भी पूछ सकते हैं, या कि यहाँ भी कमेंट बॉक्स पर भी आप कमेंट करके पूछ सकते हैं. थैंक यू सो मच.
हरिओम.
हरी.